I'm Mike Sullivan. Okay, so here you are. You're on the golf course and you're blocked by a tree. Should you go over the tree or should you go under the tree? No matter which route you choose, I'll show you how to hit the ball low and how to hit it high. Okay, so we've all been there before. You've hit a wayward tee shot and there is perhaps a tree up there, and what we all want to do, the green's on the other side of the tree, we all want to go over it, don't we? That's pretty much what we want to do, is go over it, because we feel like, okay, I'm 150 yards from the green, and if I can hit my whatever club, 7-iron, over that tree, it'll be a perfect shot and it'll all be good. But you're looking at the tree like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can pull that off. Then the other option would be to go low and go under the tree. So the first thing I would say is, and I hope I didn't misspeak, I meant the green's 150 yards away, not the tree. The first thing I would say is, generally, you're going to get past the object in front of you, past the tree or the branch or whatever, by going under it. So if you're not a single-digit handicapper yet, I would say go low. Take the low road. You already hit one bad shot, so you kind of deserve not to be making an easy birdie here, so go underneath that limb. So let's talk about how to do that first, and then we will talk about how to go up over it. Okay, so we want to go low. First thing is club selection. And I see this a lot. You know, when you watch TV and you watch the pros and they're going under something, they're always, a lot of times you see them pulling out like a 7-iron or an 8-iron, and they're working all this stuff. Make it easy. Grab a low lofted club, the strongest iron that you have in your bag. Go with that. The strongest iron in my bag is a 4-iron right here. Go with this. I don't recommend going with a hybrid or even a fairway wood, because they have such a low center of gravity and all that mass back there. Sometimes they'll launch the ball actually higher than like your 4 or 5-iron will. So go with that iron, all right? Next thing we're gonna do is we want to de-loft the club as much as possible, right? So I'm gonna play the ball back in my stance preferably, all right? And I'm gonna go ahead and cheat a little bit with more weight on my front foot. And the next thing is I make my swing, it's just like a pitch shot type of a swing. Tip here, watch your grip pressure. So oftentimes when we get this little punch shot type of a thing, people like to really bear down and they get tight with it, and it's just not it's not a good swing. It's hard to hit a good shot. So we're gonna relax our grip, ball back in our stance, and I wanna make sure I just keep turning my shoulders. I'm not gonna try to hit it any lower than it's gonna just come out naturally from here. Okay, so let's give this a try. Back in my stance, pitch shot. So that was super low. That ball didn't get a foot up in the air. It's still going out there. It probably rolled, 125, 150 yards. Okay, so that's our low shot. Now, a couple things to expect here. When we're hitting the low ball, because the ball is back in my stance, I'm very likely to catch it as my club is moving out away from me. So I'm going to be catching this very much, if I move this over here, it's going to be very much on an in to out path because it's so far back. So the ball, a lot of times for a right-handed golfer, will start to the right and then draw back. It is really difficult to hit your lowest shot that curves in a fading fashion. So keep that in mind. Draws go low, fades are going to want to go high. So if you want to hit the ball low and you think you're going to work it around the tree like in a cut or a slice, I would not attempt that shot. And probably if we miss the fairway, that's kind of an indicator how we're hitting it, right? So if you can't hit the fairway that you can land an airplane in, but you think you can curve the ball around trees low and all that stuff all the time in a little window, probably better off playing it safe, okay? So back in stance, expect it to be a draw, hit it low, very low lofted club. So let's say now we're going to go over the tree. but we want to hit it a little bit higher than our normal ball flight. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's say the tree is 150 yards out and I hit my 8-iron 150 yards. So I'm going to use the 8-iron here, okay? And I want this ball to go high. Now if I'm going to put it back in my stance to hit it low, I'm going to play it a little bit more forward in my stance to hit it higher, okay? Now let's take a look at what happens a lot of times here. Get this thing up in the air, right? Okay, hit behind the ball. That was a terrible shot. And look how I finished with my weight here. This happens all the time. So because I know I want the ball to go way up in the air, my instincts were to get the center of my body behind the ball and try to lift it. And I end up hitting a fat shot or a thin shot. So we have to practice this, and we have to really stay away from that instinct. I hope that makes sense. When we want the ball to go high, you know, instinctively we're going to do some things, and one of them could be weight goes back and we get kind of scoopy, thin shots and fat shots, and we're in trouble. So I'm going to go with my 8-iron. To hit it a little bit higher, I'm going to play it a little bit more forward in my stance, okay? And I'm also going to expect this ball to maybe cut a little bit. It should maybe move for a right-handed golfer left to right, because I'm going to catch this ball as the club is maybe traveling a little bit more to the left. It won't be de-lofted as much as a normal shot because the ball is a little bit more forward in my stance. I really don't like the idea of trying to actually add loft to lift the ball up in the air under any circumstances, because it usually works out very, very badly. So let's take a look here at this other shot I'm going to hit. It's a little more forward in my stance. I'm not going to try to lift it. I'm just going to let it get up in the air because of the loft, and I'm expecting a cut. So that was pretty good. Now one thing that happened there is I didn't exactly pinch that ball against the turf, and a big part of that is because my ball position was farther forward. So the reason why we play the ball in a certain place is we want it to be someplace where when we hit the ball, we're going to hit the ball, then descend into it and hit a solid shot. So as I get it more forward, it's harder for me to hit solid golf shots. So this is the type of shot that we really want to practice. And be honest, you know, I think I felt like I even kind of lifted that a little bit as I was trying so hard to hit it high. So I'm just going to try it one more time, and I'm going to try to stay with this thing a little bit better, meaning I'm not going to come up out of it so much, a little more forward in my stance. That was solid. That was a nice high ball flight, and it only cut a little bit. I bet you, though, I don't have the launch monitor going, I probably lost a little bit of yardage. Okay? There are always going to be trade-offs. I'm not going to hit my 8-iron as far when I hit it up in the air like that with a cut as I would with my normal ball flight that's a little bit lower where it plays a draw. So if you want to go high, forward in the stance, let the loft of the club get the ball in the air and make sure you hit it solid. If you want to go low, ball back in your stance, relax that grip, and just let that lower loft of the club keep it low, expect a draw. I really hope you found that helpful. Just remember, we want to stay in the moment. Don't get all worked up, don't get too excited. Safety first, right? If you just punch it in the fairway, you can maybe make that bogey or even a par if you one putt it. So again, hope it's helpful. Please let us know through any comments what you felt about the video. Practice hard. If you get these little tricks figured out and you play the right type of conservative game plan, you can really bring those scores down and make the game a lot more fun.